scene is for somebody who's an artist, or somebody who doesn't want to do something that is expected of them?
I thought it was a comedy.
It is.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I mean, I think it's the same all over the world. Trying to make films, it's not easy. It's getting easier now with digital cameras and stuff, but it's never really easy if you want to show a film or if you really want to get it, onto print at the end. And in our society, I mean, we really, I mean, society tends to be more our society tends to be more practical. When I was a kid, we were always told, get a degree first, and then, do what you like as a hobby. And yeah, so even doing this, what happened here was that it took me years and years and years to get financing for a film. And when I did, I was supposed to make a commercial film, as in a mainstream film. But there were so many things that I wanted to do. I mean, after all these years, so I was caught in a dilemma. I had to make a mainstream film, but at the same time, I had all these things I want to say. And finally, I thought I would just make a film about what I was going through. And so I wrote this. I mean, yeah, typical.
And it seems like from what you said before, that it's not the making of the film. I mean, finding money is difficult, but making the film itself isn't nearly as difficult as getting it seen. Because then you rely on the distribution of others. Short of taking it around from city to city with a projector screen and a video player, you have to rely. And so, can you go into a little more detail about the stuff that happened because the film was completed in 2008. And then what happened? Was it shown? I know you've gone to some other film festivals around the world. I just wonder if you can tell a little bit more of the history of that.
Right.
When it finally was seen in Malaysia.
We completed the film in 2008. Then it was we got into the Venice Film Festival. It did okay there. Sorry, am I allowed?
Yeah. You say whatever you like. You're not going to tell anybody who works for the Venice Film Festival, right?
All right. Okay. Sorry. I'll be fast. It was releasing it in Malaysia is a bit hard because when we spoke with the distributors said, "Oh, your film has been to a film festival. Not going to work in Malaysia." Yeah. And they said, at best we give you 2 screens. So the investors were not happy with that. So we tried to get more screens. I said, look, it's not a really art house film. There is some comedy in here.
So the reason they had that kind of hesitation was they were afraid of it being an artsy film festival movie.
That's right. They didn't even see the film. That's the best part. They just said, "Oh, film festival? No." And then when we showed them the poster, they said, "You won an award? Oh, worse." So eventually, I think they never ever saw the film, even during a premiere, which happened in their cinema. They didn't even go in. I saw the lady and I said, "Hey, are you going in?" She says, "No, it's too cold." So that's the kind of support we had.
And then so finally, when you reached some kind of arrangement to release it in Malaysia.
Yeah. What we did was we went through the government compulsory screening scheme. You got to queue up for that, and you get the dates, that are given to you. So we got a date between Star Trek and Wolverine. I don't know. I was in the lobby of the theater thinking, I want to see Star Trek. Oh shit, I can't. Yeah. So it was painful.
Did you have any issues with Malaysian censors for the film? Was there anything that happened in terms of cutting?
Surprisingly, no cuts. I mean, we showed a different version of the film. The first scene was different in Malaysia. We couldn't show full nudity. I don't know if many of you noticed that he was nude.
Who was that guy?
He's actually one of our crew. In fact, most of the people out there were, crew members and neighbors.
But he's the only one who shows penis on screen.
Yeah, and he was very proud of it. We said, don't tell anyone about this. I told the assistant cameraman who was in charge of video, I said, don't show anyone this footage because we don't want to get in trouble. We don't want anyone to know that we shot a nude scene. Then, we were shooting one day, and then the guy himself was showing everybody the scene. He said, look, this is my new scene. Look, this is my new scene. See? Don't think it's small. It's very powerful.
I'm sure he has a lot to be proud of, but I don't know.
He's a problem.
So Peter, how did Joon Han find you for the film?
I was working on a very old car in the same apartment block in which he stays in, and he drove past, and I think he questioned whether he should come over and speak to me, and he eventually came and spoke to me, and
And lied his way.
yeah, I blagged my way into a film, so that was great. He asked me if I'd done any acting before. I said, I'm in the sort of media industry, so I do modelling, TV commercials, etc. So then he went on to ask, if I could sing, because obviously the musical, I didn't know this, I just said, I can't sing for shit. And then he took that like, what do you mean you're being modest, or you really can't sing? I said, no, I really can't sing, but he didn't believe me. And I got taken up to Thailand where we have a vocal coach who's taught Barbra Streisand, Michael Jackson, and he said, okay, look, I don't know, Joon Han's better at telling this with, this is the enthusiasm that the Malaysians wanted. I think you should take it away from him.
No, I think he just worked with Barbra Streisand. No one taught Barbra Streisand to say all Michael Jackson.
Yes.
Don't tell Barbra Streisand about this Q&A. Dennis still doesn't look Barbra Streisand.
Just delete it before you post anything on
Yes,
YouTube.
I'm not gonna, just make sure you do it after I leave the country.
Oh.
I've heard the story. I can probably tell the story. You told me to be the other night in the bar. So the guy said he'd make even tone deaf people that just sing, right?
Sing with
No,
the
actually, well, I asked him, I said, hey Tim, his name is Tim. I said, Tim, can you work with tone deaf people? Can you make tone deaf people sing, right? I said, June, there is no such thing as tone deaf. Some people just speak within a small range all their lives, right? So they just get so used to it, so they can't sing. They can't sing pitches that are outside the range. So I said, oh, okay, and we brought him up. And then, they made him sing, I don't know, Baba Black Sheep or something like that. And then the guy said, so can you work with this guy? And Tim said, it will take a while, but I think you need to practice. I'll give him some exercises, we record it, and then he can just practice on his own. So at the end of it, at the day we recorded the Money song, which is very, very funny. We had so many problems with it that I actually thought my plan at the time was not to have him sing, it was to have a bunch of people sing different lines from it. But it didn't work because everyone sounded so rich, I mean, they all sounded like rich kids. So I said, I think the only person who can sing this is Peter because he sounds like he's really suffering. So we pulled him in, we had to record it in my office, it wasn't even in the studio, So we had this guy from Bangkok, he's an Italian guy who lives in Bangkok. He was our arranger and producer for music. And so we set up this makeshift thing, we got him to sing. He's like, Mommy, Mommy.
You should have seen my neck, it was such a neck work.
And we were outside, we were like, three of us, And then the other bit, you go like, that was a good take, right? And you couldn't see us go on the floor. And then I turned to Tim, I said, but Tim, I thought you said, there is no such thing as tone deaf people. And he goes like, June, I was wrong!
Thank you very much.
So have you continued your vocal career after Sound
I released a couple of albums in, and so
I think that's a good segue into giving away a prize. And we'll take, so we're going to